talking. No
Hi,
one's
kids. I'm Chris Harvey.
I'm Elena Joyner.
And I'm Chelsea Jackson.
And this is Designer Dead, where we get into all things fashion and style, as well as giving you the business aspects behind it all. We give you the fun, the failures, and the foolishness of the fashion industry. As you can see today, we have a fourth additional poised person joining us, my good friend Ronny Oppong, friend of the show. Ronny,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Y'all, it is so good to be here. Thank you.
You're our first ever guest.
Yes.
It's my little Marlo Hampton moment.
Yes.
Friend of the show.
Yes.
The fashionable friend of the show.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, all the friends of the show are fashionable.
Yes, period.
Y'all, I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. First of all, this is an amazing podcast. Love what you guys are doing.
Thank you so much.
Like, comment, subscribe. Ain't that what the girls say?
Yes. You heard the man.
My name is Ronny Oppong. I am a creative director, licensed esthetician, and all-around amazing black man.
I know
Jobs,
that's right.
honey. Jobs.
So I am the founder of MUGGD. Please follow us on all social platforms. But I will say my time within the industry has been around supporting amazing brands such as Win Beauty, Afimi, Olay, and so many more within the beauty and fashion space. And I kind of got really, really passionate when I realized that men were ignored within this space. I honestly just see that when we look at beauty and grooming, it's a gate-kept space where if you're not a model, an entertainer, or some kind of, in front of the camera type of muse, then you don't get to partake in this space. Meanwhile, our everyday guy is constantly dealing with certain insecurities or discoveries and wanting to try things. And I was like, why don't guys have a safe space where they get to discover and evolve within beauty as women do as well, right?
For sure.
And so MUGG came to be. And so the spelling is MUGGD. The D is silent, but it's about your mug,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But then it's also the quintessential space for males to find themselves, get on the journey for discovery, and also reclaim their identity. So I'm really, really passionate about it. Recently, I've been working on a special project, which is the MUGG Skin Sack.
Yes. We're going to get into that.
And so I'm excited.
Tell them they're going to get it. Tell us all about it.
So I really want to do a good friends and family pre-launch and pre-order sale. I want to bring community along this journey. But the ideals was as I was traveling, as I'm moving through things, I like to keep a bag on my person. And I think right now it's trending that, guys are now rocking bags and things like that. I'm like, please, we've been. But for me, the MUGG Skin Sack is my keep all, my carry on, like everything goes in it. And it's for everyone, not just guys. I want everyone to partake in community. So I'm excited to share this with y'all later on. But
we're
that's
excited
me,
to see
and
it.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes. Well, we're so happy to have you, Ronny. We just wanted to ask you a question. We named our podcast "Is Designer Dead?" Because we have been wrestling with kind of like trying to understand whether the designer industry really has longevity. We have seen a lot of creative directors go from house to house to house. We have seen the changing nature of a creative director from being, the actual main director of design to being more of a creative director of like branding, and they oversee a team of designers. So we just wanted to ask you, from any way you wanted to answer the question, do you think is designer dead?
Love the question. Love the name.
Yes.
And I would say that designer's not dead. To me, when I think about it, and I kind of put some bullet points down, and I just think that for me, designer, when we look at the new definition or the evolving definition of designer, we're looking at new roles within the industry that are changing, and it's changing and it's supporting the industry, and it's allowing the industry to be more relevant. So we're seeing that your creative director and your designers are now collaborative, right? You're seeing that your designer has to be a little bit more strategic, has to come in and have a little bit more foresight other than just designing garment and looking at, style and at lifestyle influences. We're now looking at that dollar amount. We're now looking at how we're impacting community and building brand longevity. And so I think, in essence, we're not informing the masses now from top down, but we're kind of moving laterally with it. And in doing that, fashion gets to be more relevant. Fashion gets to be more democratic a little bit. So I don't think designer is dead.
Interesting.
Great.
I love that answer. I think we all had we took a little bit from that in our answers, but in my answer, I remember I was thinking about the juxtaposition between like we view designer as quality, or that's kind of was the impetus.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you're saying like now a designer is more of like just the jack of all trades that kind of leads the vision for what they're doing, rather than that person who is just kind of the artist that is pushing out clothing or whatever.
And I also think that the new evolution of that is the keyword like collaboration, right? I think sometimes we get so hung up on like that vision and who owns that vision and who executed that vision. And so when we look at this idea of being collaborative, it's understanding that someone can set the vision, but also is open to allowing people to come in and tweak it or add their talents to it. I often tell people, like when I get into a situation where I'm in a creative space or I'm working on a campaign of something, if something is not my ministry, I will literally look and be like, this is not my ministry. I need you to come in here and do your part. Because I know that you are proficient and you have skill sets that I don't have, but I've set somewhat of a vision and you're just here to enhance it and make it better. And so I think when we lean into those spaces with that mentality, you start to see the brands are going off. You start to see the community is stronger and more supportive. And then you get a bigger bang for your buck, for real, you know?
Yeah.
So speaking of designers, we have some very exciting news to talk about. Rachel Scott was recently installed as the new creative director of Proenza Schouler. As I mentioned to you guys previously a few episodes ago, Lazaro Hernandez and Jack McCullough left Proenza Schouler. They were the founders and the designers of the brands. They left to go to Loewe, replacing J.W. Anderson, who is now at Dior. But Rachel Scott is one of very few women who are at the top positions at the fashion houses kind of globally.
Women of color, too.
She's actually the only woman of color now at a major fashion house, so that's super exciting. And she is a queer woman of color, so it is all around great for the
every different angle.
For all of the diversity. We love it. We love it. And so I would love to kind of like get into a little bit about her background, because my girl, she's been doing some things, okay?
She's amazing.
Girl, for real.
She's snapping.
So first she was born and raised in Jamaica, which has really kind of influenced her aesthetic.
I'm not Jamaican, but we just had the West Indies parade. I'm like, I'm here for it. I was like, was she not? I was like, I'm pretty sure she was. Yes, anyway, so her Jamaican upbringing has really influenced her aesthetic and her design approach. So she studied at Colgate University, graduating magna cum laude. Okay, the girl is she's smart. Okay, in art/art history as well as French. She also studied at the Istituto Marangoni, had to look at it because it's, Italian's not my first language. But she joined the alumni of people like Domenico Dolce and Dario Vitali, who is now the designer at Versace. He was formerly the designer at Miu Miu. So there are a lot of great alumni that come out of this institution. In addition to that, she's worn many hats. She has been a design consultant and executive, obviously also a designer. She worked at Rachel Comey, she worked at Costume National, and she worked at J. Mendel. So the girl is busy, and she has a very long resume. In addition to that, of course, she is a decorated designer, okay? In 2023, she was a runner-up to the LVMH Prize. She was a runner-up to the CFDA Vogue Fashion Fund, and she was the winner of the CFDA Emerging Fashion Award. In addition to that, she was also the winner of the inaugural Fraser Family Foundation. Is it Fraser Family? Hold on, let me check. Yes, the CFDA Fraser Family Foundation Vision Empowerment Award, which is an award that the Fraser family and the CFDA created to uplift and support Black designers. So it comes with a $100,000 grant as well as a year-long mentorship. And then the next year, in 2024, my girl won the CFDA Women's Wear Designer of the Year Award. So she has been working, and she did all of that through her line Diatima, which she launched in 2021. So we are super excited to see her join the Proenza Schouler team. She did design and consult for the upcoming show at New York Fashion Week in September, but her official debut will be in February. So I will pause there in case you guys have any thoughts before I move on to the other exciting news.
I was researching and I was watching a lot of her interviews and seeing how she incorporated her Jamaican culture into Diatima. And one of the things that I found super interesting is how she started to use crochet in a lot of her designs. And she mentioned that during COVID, a lot of the borders were closed in Jamaica. So she had to use her culture in terms of the crochet elements that are very foundational in Jamaican kind of casual wear. And she really wanted to take that crochet element and translate it into luxury. And she wanted to modernize it because crochet typically has been associated with the reggae, eras of the 70s and the 80s. So I'm really interested to see if she will, just because she's known for crochet right now.
For sure.
I really am interested to see if she will bring that to Proenza, if she'll abandon that, because I think it's so foundational to her as a designer. People know her for that, and that's how she made a name for herself. So it'd be interesting to see if she keeps the crochet.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see, I'm not as familiar with, the exact house codes of Proenza Schouler, but they're so different than the essence of Diotima. I'm really interested to see how she can possibly meld them together. One, and I'm also so I love her because I'm a philosophy nerd, and she named Diotima after a character from Plato's Symposium, which is a classic piece of Greek philosophy. And so I'm reading here, she named it that as a tribute to the power of love and creative desire. And she really wanted that to be reflected in the clothes and the creative craftsmanship of the Caribbean, because if we think about it, a lot of what is portrayed in popular culture, well, in the U.S. and globally, what is exported from the Caribbean is, I think, probably super stereotypical, right? We think of crochet and we think of just the yellow, red, and black crochet dress that is really stereotypical that one would wear. And I love how she used obviously her brain, her passion for philosophy, and her love of her culture to infuse that into her brand. I'm really interested to see how that infusion plays out with what I view as more of a kind of New York, more professional power suit vibe that Proenza Schouler has, because personally, that would be something I really, really want to wear.
Yeah. To add to that, I think her appointment just shows that the industry and such a somewhat a legacy brand, right, is looking for strong voices that are going to kind of make a different kind of a statement.
For sure.
And then I'm also excited to understand, because whenever we get a new creative director, everyone's always so what we're discussing is what's her new flair, right? What's the flair, or what are they bringing in, and then also what's the confinement, where they're okay, girl, don't step out of here, don't do too much, right? And so it's always interesting to see, because sometimes you also understand why you brought me to the table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You wanted me to come and shake things up a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
I would love an embellished crochet PS1 bag.
Ooh.
Nice.
Have you seen the most recent fall winter Diotima? There's this we obviously we'll put it in the show. This vest, and it's gold floral embellishments. It's currently in my locker app to buy, but I would love to see a floral gold embellished PS1 bag, kind of a la how Loewe is re-releasing the puzzle bag with all and how Dior does the art bag. I would love to see the mix of that. That would go crazy. That would fly off the shelves.
My bank account ain't ready.
My
bank account ain't ready.
I hope she does it. I hope she continues to do Diotima.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, for
She's gonna design both simultaneously. So.
Okay.
Yeah, girl, she gonna be working.
Booked and busy.
We love that for you, sis.
Yeah.
We love that. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. And in other news, another amazing female appointment, Meryl Rogue, has been named as the creative director at Marni, which is super exciting. Marni, as you guys may or may not know, well, y'all know, but everybody may not know, it is owned by the Only the Brave Group, which is a conglomerate of other brands, including Jill Sander, Diesel, Victor and Rolf, and Maison Margiela. So she is now the only head female designer in the entire conglomerate. So she's representing for the women.
Yeah.
And so just to give a little background about her, she actually studied at the Royal Academy of Fine Arts, which is where the Antwerp Six studied. So, Dries Van Noten, Anne de Meester, the rest of the clique. And she worked at Marc Jacobs, and she also was the head designer most recently at Dries Van Noten. She also was the first woman to be named the Designer of the Year by the Belgian Fashion Awards, which is...
Wow.
Yeah. She's
Wow.
that girl. It's,
That's crazy.
It's crazy, right? That we still have female first out here, but
dang.
whatever. She also won the prestigious Andem Prize this year, which is a €300,000 grant, as well as a year-long mentorship with Sydney Toledano, who is a senior advisor at LMH. So the girl is winning. She's doing all types of things. She also has her own line called Meryl Rogue, of course. And so I'm really excited to see what she brings to Marnie and kind of what this will mean for opening the doors to other female appointments.
Where do they
in
show?
the future.
Where do they show?
Milan.
Milan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Marnie.
I'm really, really excited for this. I love Meryl Rogue. One of my favorite influencers, formerly London Girl in NYC. Now she's just Amanda Murray.
You love her.
Anything she wears, I'll buy it. I'm influenced. Everything, I'm influenced.
Yeah.
And she wears quite a lot of Marnie, Dries, and Meryl Rogue.
Yeah.
And so, Meryl Rogue actually going to Marnie, I'm like, Amanda's gonna. I saw Regina George. So I wore. I was like, Amanda's gonna wear this, so I'm gonna wear this.
Yeah.
And so I'm super excited for it. And then also, we were talking about this earlier, but my favorite fashion places are the Belgian designers, Copenhagen, Japan, and Korea. I just love the androgynous, asymmetrical use of fabrics. And so I envisioned that with her coming to Marnie. Bold minimalist that you see at Copenhagen Fashion Week. So, I love it. This is my
it's so
thing.
interesting. I think that Marnie has also gotten a male audience as well with the sweaters and everything. So it'll be interesting to see how she designs for men, because I don't know if she's, and I don't know if you necessarily need to design for men. I think there could be unisex, of course, styles, but it just would be interesting to see how that evolves.
That sweater took Atlanta streets by storm.
Gosh.
And the Sabbath loafer. I love the little fur. I loved it. I loved it with the Elmo colors. Yeah.
That was off of, it was all over How Mill Road. The Atlanta people will get that.
But those are recruitment pieces, I feel like. Those are the recruitment pieces that that Marnie has. So be good to see that continues.
Yeah. And then finally, of course, we have to talk about our girl Victoria Beckham finally reaching over $100 million in sales. So officially she ended 2024 with $152 million in sales, which is up 26% from the previous year, which in this economic climate is a blessing. Hopefully she can continue that this year. Additionally, EBITDA was up double digits. Sales growth is generally coming from her D2C line, which is great. As you guys know, as former buyers, D2C is actually usually the most profitable line, and it's where you have the most control over your brand voice and your aesthetic and just how things are done in regards to markdowns and all of that. So it's great that she already has that controlled channel, which makes up a majority of her sales. They're looking to open up about 200 stores worldwide. In addition to that, I know.
That's aggressive.
That's a lot. That's aggressive growth.
Well, no, 200 total, not 200 more, 200 total.
Oh, okay.
I still think that's a lot.
It is.
Yeah, well, worldwide, but yeah. So she recently got a cash infusion investment from some of her friends and some companies to help her grow the label. Unfortunately, the brand is still suffering from some operating losses, but this double-digit growth is still impressive, again, due to this economic climate, and beauty is actually a huge newcomer for her, so they're expanding the beauty segment and also creating some new product lines. I think they're coming out with a foundation later this year. And additionally, she is going to be on a Netflix docuseries coming out this autumn, talking about her and the rise of her line. So I'm sure that'll create a halo effect for the brand and drive some additional sales. Do you guys have any thoughts on Victoria Beckham's business performance?
I got a lot of thoughts about her. Okay.
On Miss Posh Spice?
Okay, I love Posh Spice. Okay. My Tom Ford era Gucci, it's in my brain, and she exemplifies all of that. I will say, I pray one day that I have a man who can fund my
Or friends that can just give me a cash injection.
Unprofitable business.
But
unprofitable business.
But there are a lot of businesses out here that they inject a lot of money and they are still losing cash.
Exactly. So if I'm thinking about like it's so interesting in other industries because like in tech, obviously, which is like where I come from. You don't care about being profitable. It's the norm. Like the way that she's growing, where they're just trying to increase revenue, increase scale. I mean, and then eventually, like once you have scale, the costs go down. Like what she's doing is maybe weird for the fashion industry, but it's actually like a business model that
people been doing it for
do all the time.
I don't think she's ever gonna get to the scale of like Amazon is notorious for this strategy, but she's not going to get. In my opinion, I don't think that she's going to get to the scale of one of the larger luxury houses to be able to finally say I'll be profitable at that point. If you look at her EBITDA versus her her actual revenue, it's a 2% EBITDA margin, which is very, very slim. Healthy luxury businesses operate.
And this was 2024 before the tariffs. I
This
don't know
is
where her stuff
before
is
the
made,
tariffs.
but
This
I
is before
assume
the
it's going to be
tariffs.
impacted by the tariffs.
The EBITDA, a healthy EBITDA percent margin is 10% to 20%, and she's at 2%, which is razor thin margins for a healthy business. So I assume that there's a lot of things going into like what's driving her costs up. I don't know if it's labor. I don't know if it's cost of goods. I don't know what it is. But or I don't know if it's debt. But I think she needs to understand like more of her unit economics to bring those costs down, because I know that they're trying to present this as, a very, healthy business, consecutive, growth, quarters of growth. But it doesn't seem to be very healthy to me.
It also just seems like there's a push to kind of show like this brand is on a good trajectory, like stay with us.
So, because it came out right around the time that they're like, oh, the Netflix documentary is coming out. So they're like, her business is actually doing really well, guys.
It's like relevance is the thing. Like let's push it. And I think it's really cool to see the evolution of Posh Spice, right? It was like it's Victoria Beckham, and I'm sure she probably is cringing and is annoyed to hear Posh Spice, possibly. But at the same time, too, like,
get over that.
It's what you're leveraging, right? And so she knows her consumers, she knows what the people are wanting, and she's trying to give them that, but then she has her own aspirations in terms of what the industry standards say for a very good, healthy, like strong business and brand. So I think sometimes when we see these people start playing in these spaces, especially within like fashion, there's this push to be like, hey, we're doing well, like we're relevant, like this is
especially for celebrity-led brands, because so often celebrity-led fashion brands do not do that well.
But I also think this is a passion project for her. It may not be this like behemoth. She may not think of it as this like behemoth brand that she wants to grow into this like, powerhouse. It may just be like
she wants they're trying to get to 200 stores.
I mean, I don't know.
But
I mean, I don't see them like trying to get at sustainable growth. It's just growth for growth's sake. And
but we haven't discussed the acquisition play of all of this, right?
But that's what I think she's going for.
Yeah, because like if you it's easy for a conglomerate to cut costs with their operations. Like getting reach and getting sales, they can also get that, but that's a little hard. But that's a little harder. Like let's say tomorrow LVMH acquires Victoria Beckham. They'll cut those costs.
They'll cut those costs,
right?
Sure.
They'll use their existing
because as we talked about, they're not good at growing a brand in terms of like something that's not known. But if it's known, they can take it up to the next level
for sure.
And so that means as a brand entering it, you need to be known. And you got to play the known game the right way. And so I would look at LVMH and everyone they've acquired and be like, how did they do it? And let me go ahead and try to do the same thing and better.
The thing is, I just don't see very many people wearing Victoria Beckham.
She's not.
Maybe this beauty's gonna go off.
Maybe it's more
popular in Europe.
I think this beauty. This new beauty launch is going to push her.
Like, they're also doing a lot of collaborations in the beauty market as well.
And she's doing a lot of skincare partnering within the formulations of this new brand as well. So the beauty category, my ears are perked. Like,
Okay.
I'm looking at it. So
No, I'm not gonna hold you. Sorry.
yeah, and this is duality. And this is duality. She has an MBA.
I'm not gonna hold you. She had her contour stick.
Oh yeah.
It went viral.
Yeah.
I bought it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes. No.
Like
it was
doing the
really,
smoky eyes
Yes.
and like
Yeah.
the makeup's
her
it's tea.
her beauty. I forgot. I'm happy you mentioned that, Ronny.
Yeah.
Her beauty side, and we all know it's the the beauty, the perfume,
Yeah.
the accessories. All of those are what propel brands, right?
She just
Especially in a
partnered with-
downtrending economy.
Yeah.
She just partnered
That's when
with,
the beauty
I think,
goes up.
Augustus
Yeah, she
Bader.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
she
so
did.
now when we look at, like, that's why I was saying those formulations.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
She's partnered with someone who is in the skincare
Yeah.
business,
Sure.
who has done a really, really good job in like building community, understanding product. He's also an esthetician. So like now she's partnering with him. This collection is going to be something to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna get these shades right.
But I'm not gonna lie to you.
Having us look like
her
scary.
shades have been okay.
Okay, well there we go.
Oh, okay.
They haven't been. She hasn't had like 40 shades come
Right.
out, but there have been a range.
Yeah, we don't
of
need all
shades.
those shades though
Yeah.
too. So I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, and that kind of juxtaposed against the fact that the row also had a $1 billion valuation last year. So there could be something
Yeah.
in the cards for celebrity-led fashion brands. We will see. I mean, this was prior to the tariffs again.
Yeah.
The tariffs, which Chelsea, I'm sure you have some things to tell us about
Yes.
with the tariffs on
Yes.
that end.
Thank you for the segue, Chris.
Of course.
Well, it's time for Designers, Deficits, and Dividends, the segment where we talk about the business of the fashion business. So on this episode, we're really going to zero in on the ever-changing retail landscape and really focus on the chasm that is seemingly happening between luxury retail as well as off-price retail. So as you know, some fashion players are filing for bankruptcy while others are posting record profits. A split that says everything about where the industry currently is. So let's take Essence, for example. The Montreal-based e-commerce website has recently filed for Canada's version of Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Canada's Companies Creditors Arrangement Act. Say that 5 times fast. So this act essentially lets Essence restructure in the same way that Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the U.S. does. So what led to this trouble? Well, first, the 35% tariff from Canada to the U.S., as well as the end of the tariff exemption on goods under $800 into the U.S. So Essence has viewed this filing for bankruptcy as a way to fend off their creditors who have recently pushed for a sale of the website. Filing for this protection is a way for Essence essentially to keep control of their company. And it doesn't necessarily mean that Essence will have to liquidate or not emerge from this bankruptcy. There are plenty of companies that emerge from bankruptcies just fine. So over in Italy, Luisa Via Roma is in a similar position. They have recently also filed for bankruptcy under Italy's, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced this, Concordata Preventivo. So we're going to call that CP for the purposes of this discussion. And it's similar to Chapter 11 and Canada's CCCA. It's also a way to restructure, but in Italy, the government also gets involved. So restructuring of assets as well as government intervention. What this will do is allow them to negotiate with 1,200 creditors and try to stabilize the business and also infuse about 20 million euros in cash into the business. So we've got two of fashion luxury's favorite darlings, both known for highlighting high-end designers as well as emerging designers restructuring under heavy financial pressure. So now we're going to juxtapose this with what is also happening in the retail business, which is off-price retailers having a surge in profits. So let's contrast that with TJ Maxx Marshalls and the whole of the TJX empire. Off-price retail is currently booming. In their latest quarter, TJX reported a comparable sales up of 6% in pre-tax profit margins, above 11%, and plans to open about 1,800 new stores worldwide.
Wow.
Their business model is practically built for times like this. They're able to scoop up excess inventory, sidestep tariffs because of their flexible sourcing model, and offer consumers that treasure hunt thrill that gets their adrenaline up. While luxury struggles to move full price goods, TJ Maxx and other stores like it, like Burlington Coat Factory, for example, are thriving. So I open it up to you guys, and I'll answer the question first. Do you think that there is a way for companies like SSENSE to come out of this and be successful outside of the restructuring process? Just to give a couple more examples of this, some companies that we know and love have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, like Delta Airlines, as well as Apple. And they are, Apple is obviously the highest market cap and highest value company in the world. And Delta is the most profitable airline in the US right now. So there is a chance for these companies to come out, but there is a 1 in 10 chance. So I personally believe, SSENSE is my favorite site, so maybe I'm biased.
I love their social media too.
They're good.
But I think that there is a chance, but maybe not in the Trump years.
I mean, it's very interesting, kind of like when we're in an economic downturn, of course, people are going to turn to off-price because, purse strings are tightening and everything like that. But we do know that even though TJ Maxx and the Marshalls can source a lot of products from retailers offloading products, you're never going to see Chanel, you're never going to see Fendi or any of those. No, you're never going to see them in a TJ Maxx. You're never going to see...
I'm going to tell you right now.
Fendi, you buy. Chanel, no.
I was going to say, Chanel, no.
They're not going to be mainstay products in those places. I definitely I have seen, of course, where we can have like the real shop in shops, let's say in a Century 21, for example. Maybe they're probably secondhand, like bought from people as opposed to directly from the brand. The brand is probably not going to offload their inventory to a TJ Maxx. What they can do is possibly SSENSE, for example, have a separate business unit that's either rental or the secondhand market, consignment, where they actually take, because they've built that brand equity as a luxury partner, it's a little easier for brands to wrap their head around, let me offload my excess inventory to an SSENSE or, any other company that's struggling and have that as a second business unit, the rentals or what have you.
So I love that, and I agree with some of it, and I will say the TJ Maxx in Soho, there was like it's fairly new.
I was literally gonna say that too.
They had Gucci.
Yeah, they have some of the design stuff. It depends on the store.
Do they come from the Gucci store though, or are they buying them secondhand?
But the consumers don't care.
So, but
no,
what
I'm
I
just
can
saying.
confirm though is it was not secondhand. It was not secondhand, it was brand new.
It could have come from like an outlet or something like that. Yeah,
possibly. But I think what we're seeing though is that your legacy big box they're kind of fading out, and you're seeing those guys close stores. And now what we're seeing is this discount, more accessible space and retail model now getting more doors open and getting more brick and mortar. But now also we're understanding that this consignment or the idea of luxury being so accessible, they are now becoming the people to get it. So to your point, and how we were all saying, like Chanel, I don't foresee a Chanel, but certain brands will be, you can see that. Like, I was shocked to see a nice Gucci blazer in there. I was like, wait, what? I was like, I'm in TJ Maxx. What is going on? I also was like, well, I am in Soho, so this might be a thing. So I could see that. Now to the SSENSE play, right? I think they can win this situation. I think they can come out on top because I foresee some specialty stores they're an e-tailer, but if they go IRL and get us some flagship moments or start showing us like partnering with places and popping up,
like a shop and shop model.
exactly, they will, because they already have the credibility, they have the community. We know that they're a good vetter. We trust Essence. We love Essence. The only thing is that we're now annoyed that we might have to pay more for shipping. They're gonna probably have to be paying more. So if I now have a brick and mortar where I can offload and have the people come to my locations, then that also, I save some money.
That takes capital though, like
They
to
got
do
it.
it. Do
They
they?
restructuring.
So a couple things to note. So Sequoia Capital was actually one of their main investors, and we know Sequoia, they get their money.
But
so,
aren't they? They're the creditors that are coming after them, though, right?
So it didn't explicitly stay online, but we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know Sequoia, when they want their money, they're
Get
get
gonna be
bled
cash
dry.
strapped.
They're going to be
Yeah.
cash strapped. So
Yeah.
I think e-tailing and e-commerce, though, that's like the cheaper way to do business. And they probably are drop shipping some of it at this point. So they're keeping the costs down by keeping it online. Once they start with brick and mortar, I don't know. I feel like that's going to add a lot of costs that they may not have.
You think e-commerce is the
I
cheaper
don't know,
option?
because the way that people
More than-
return things,
more than on-
well, I don't know,
more than in real
between
life.
the tariffs and between the cost
Correct.
of shipping, between returns and stuff,
Yeah.
I think
It's not.
But compared to a brick and mortar,
Well, it depends.
Yes.
It depends on which store
so
you get
the-
and like
the-
how profitable the store is and a range of things.
So
This is good.
you would think that it is, but I'm telling you it's not.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, right now, a lot of retailers, again, these legacy retailers, I remember when like Macy's opened up that whole omni-channel like campaign and everything. It's kicking them back because what's happening is people were ordering online, coming to the store, dumping it there. And they're like, I don't want it. Right. And so then we were like, everything online.
Yeah.
Now we have tariffs. Right. And so the idea is, I'm shipping everything out. They're trying it on. You're only going to buy one thing. We have the stats and the numbers. And Essence has experienced all of that. The only thing that they have not experienced is where people are actually, we all would shop an Essence if we knew Essence shop was in Soho. There are people who would fly out here and be like, yo, there's an Essence in Soho.
I
They're
was
going to make
gonna
some
go
money.
to Montreal to go in person.
You
So
know?
I remember we were talking
yeah,
about
yeah. When they were talking about the going out of business sale,
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
well, we
they're
need
not
to
having a
go.
going out. We're not there yet.
But
We're not
people
there
will pull
yet.
up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think, and this model and this strategy, to me, I think very few brands can actually do it and be successful at it. And I think where you are actually successful is Essence. You do it, but you're smart. You don't go 200 doors, but
you
you
have
go
to-
specialty
Yeah.
like locations. I want to see you in Miami. I want to see you in Paris. I want to see you in Ibiza. I want to see like you are in the hot spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're doing specialty
Boutique
drops,
type.
boutique.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Because
It
they're
would make them
independent.
pop-up
They're-
shops first, just to
pop-up
get
shops,
like,
then
don't-
boutiques. But they're independent, remember, or they're trying to get independent.
Yeah.
All of these other, retailers that do a lot of these things, they have a lot of corporate backing.
Right.
So it's just we'll have to see how they spend their cash.
Well, and also just the luxury e-commerce environment has.
Call me.
Call me.
Call me. Let's chat.
The luxury e-commerce environment has been challenging for a while, right? Like we saw Farfetch saved at the very last minute at the end of last year. Matches Fashion went out of business. Like Yuke's Net-a-Porter Group was just snatched up by My Teresa, which on that note, My Teresa actually is killing the game right now because what they did, which is kind of how Essence ended up in this situation by doing the opposite, is that My Teresa really went after high value customers. They went after the customers who really have the money and gave them like top tier customer experience, like really gave them, catered to them and made them feel like it was a high end experience. Whereas Essence, I think, was kind of on a race to the bottom because they were always on sale, which is great
they were also-
for me as a shopper, but as a business, it's kind of bad for them. And to me, it also just looks like you just have a lot of excess inventory that you're trying to get rid of. And so if the sale didn't work, or either you get a lot of sales from that markdown, and then people say, oh, actually, this didn't fit, I'm returning this and all of this, so you continue to lose money. And there's just like a lot of competition. And I also think that Essence, they have a great assortment. It's very unique, but I think in this economic climate, people aren't really trying to buy a lot of unique things. Like people aren't really trying to spend money on the thing, like which is a reason why Barney's went out of business, unfortunately, because
they were supporting emerging designers,
like,
which
and
was their
it's
claim to fame.
unfortunate, but I think composing all those things together, plus the tariffs, and plus there being so much competition, I really think it just made it very hard for Essence. And I don't know if they can come back unless they just figure out a way to be smarter, maybe try to go the My Teresa route and really try to court the customers with high lifetime value and or, focus on these pop-up shops. Like, they definitely have to do something completely different because I think there are a lot of stores that are on their last way out.
Well,
and I just
also their core customer, I feel like, is more Gen Z and
it
younger.
seems like a younger
So
consumer.
the buying power of the Gen Z customer is like, it kind of ebbs and flows with the economy. You never really know. They're into recruitment pieces. And My Teresa, when you have, customers that are high net worth that will be, wealthy in an economic downturn, in a boom, like those are the customers that are worth the most. So if you're always going after customers who are trendy, but who may not be able to afford things in certain economic downturns, I mean that's a losing strategy.
One last thing I wanted to say. So TJ Maxx does sell designer online. How they get around it is you have to click into it. So you can't search for it.
And that might be the thing the designers actually are asking for.
Yeah,
Because no
that's
designer's going to say, I'm discount. They're going to probably be like, I actually want to offload this stuff, but don't you dare tell them I'm up in here.
But when you click into it, when you go in cart, it'll because I've done this before.
Well, it's interesting. They should probably have a separate site that's still TJ Maxx, but maybe rebranded as something a little bit more upscale, so that it's still TJ Maxx, but it's like the Lexus of TJ Maxx. Like the Lexus, how Toyota has.
I don't know
Lexus.
if they need to do all that. Because people know they're going to TJ Maxx for, like, to Chelsea's point, their treasure hunt. That, like, they're searching for the deals. So I don't know if they need their own site. And honestly, TJ Maxx, like, they're doing well. They don't need to do nothing.
They
like, especially I think now a lot of people had gotten smart to, like, the gray market, and they were buying things from, like, the Italis and all those. But now with the tariffs, people aren't going to be getting those discount items from there because it's no longer affordable. So I actually think TJ Maxx and all these outlets are in a position where they're just going to continue to boom. And, like, if you're buying luxury, you're buying it from there, or either you're rich enough to buy it straight from the boutique.
Also, no shade to the industry girlies, but if you're a buyer at TJ Maxx right now, you're winning.
Winning.
Oh, yes. Especially if you're region. So they do regions.
Yeah.
Like if you do like New England and New York.
Hello?
Yeah. For sure.
My buyers, my merchants, hey y'all.
Period.
All right. So on that note, we're going to switch gears slightly and go into our gamified section, which we're calling Choose Your Fighter. And it's the Pop Girlie Edition. Yes. So in a fashion battle, this is a question for y'all. In a fashion battle between Lady Gaga and Doja Cat, who is your fighter?
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
And why?
I was going to say Lady Gaga, but I also think it's harder because Lady Gaga has had a longer tenure to give us the fashions. She is known for giving us those, like, cool viral moments. And Doja Cat has also done that recently as well, but I think this is, like, similar to our question about, like, an icon. I think Gaga has had the time to get closer to an icon status, and Doja is more of, like, a newer it girl.
I don't even think it's a fair fight.
No, it's not. The thing is, what I like about Lady Gaga is I feel like her storytelling is much better than Doja Cat's storytelling. She really takes her time in terms of giving us the reason behind why she's doing a lot of things. She's very philosophical, and when she explains why she, like, showed up in an egg, and all of those things, like she was rebirthing herself and going into a metamorphosis, and like she is thinking through these things. And I don't know if Doja Cat has the same reasoning behind what she does. So I think that adds a layer for me.
And I'm still mad at her for that t-shirt dress that she wore to the gala.
Oh my God.
Y'all, I actually loved it.
Oh, okay.
The funny thing is that was the one that she did have a reason behind it.
I was
because
like, I
linen
did.
was like, no, cotton was like the most used fabric or most used plant or something like that. That was her reasoning behind wearing a cotton dress.
I liked it. I like it because, and here's the reason why I don't think it's a fair fight, but I also understand, like, I like a Lady Gaga and a Doja, right? Because it's the trickle down effect. It's the what the girls say, like, that's her daughter or like her niece or something like that. And it's because, in essence, like, when Gaga first came out, a lot of those music videos, if you do the research, like there's Dior in there. There's like archive pieces still in there.
Yes.
And she was
God was a big McQueen girl.
Yes,
like,
yes. She wore those armadillo boots like when they first came out.
Gaga was
No,
coming
pumps,
in crazy, and if you knew, you knew.
Yes.
Right? And now today, when you do the research, you're like, dang.
Yeah.
Now, Doja is also, I think her team and the creative direction is great.
Yes.
I do too, yeah.
But to your point, Elaine, I think it's the storytelling. But
her
then,
Scaparelli looks were
it's so good. But also, I think because we're in such a trendy time, we don't get to sit in it so much. And then I think also in her
Nobody makes albums anymore.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody makes albums anymore.
And so even in your look of who you are, I remember
Yes.
there are a couple of music videos where she would play up the like cat look. And I was like, yes. And then
Camp.
it went away.
Yeah.
But now we're getting a new camp vibe. So I'm like, sit in the story a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then I also want to see a lot more storytelling with these designers, because what we see is she's within the whole t-shirt moment, that era or that little stint was that ideal of her being a muse.
Yeah.
Right? And I think she does well and can be a great muse within the fashion space, but she needs to sit in those moments a little bit longer.
Yeah, because similar to like, again, our fashion icon conversation about having eras.
Yes.
Like that reminded me of that. Like if you don't allow time to sit in that style or that aesthetic, like we can't really see that full era. And we also can't see the evolution of you in that era and like really like get into it and be like, ooh, yeah, she's in this like cat era or whatever. Like, what is she gonna give us today? Like that's on theme. So
I'm
that's
here
that's
for
a good
it.
point.
Yeah. Now the next Choose Your Fighter is J-Lo versus Beyonce.
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 Yes.
And why?
Beyonce.
And why?
So-
and you have to give J-Lo her fashion props.
she did.
So
have to give her
I
props.
will give J-Lo her fashion credit.
And Rob Zangardi.
Yeah.
I will give her fashion credit. I said Beyonce because I just feel like Beyonce has more. I am not a girl who just wants to. Okay, wait. Let me think.
Run it back.
Here we go.
I'm trying to. Okay, let me think. So J-Lo's aesthetic, I think there's always like a fashion girl or a girl who like wants to appeal to the male gaze, right? And I think that for me, I don't really look at women who, to me, obviously always want to appeal to the male gaze instead of like dressing fashionably, because you can do both, like Rihanna.
Yes.
Right? Like, so you can be sexy, and that I feel like Beyonce has pieces. Like her Fendi spy bag era when I was in high school, if I could just touch the 20,000 spy bags she had, like, you know, she had so many pieces, so many things. Like Beyonce's, we already talked about this, but like her shoe and purse game is unmatched.
Oh yeah.
And so and I'm thinking about like J-Lo's street style and all of that. It's just, to me, not pieces. It's somebody who always wants to look put together. And I very much enjoy like more irreverent fashion. I may not agree with everything like Beyonce has. I may not love everything Beyonce has worn over the year, but she's had like the Destiny's Child era, all of these different eras she's had. Oh my God, I would love to get that. You remember they wore those different like the turquoise with the Native American inspired.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Was it the VMAs?
Yeah, it was at the VMAs. It's like
that.
that era was so fun, and when I think about J-Lo, I just think about somebody who
Hasn't evolved.
has
That's the thing.
She has not evolved.
worn every bit of cutout silver
Exactly.
gown
I'm about to say
that
thigh
has
slit,
probably ever been
boobs
designed.
out, sexy.
Yes.
Y'all, you know the crazy thing? I'm racking my brain for like, and there's no shade. I'm just racking my brain for like J-Lo
They can be
moments.
shade.
But
Oh, the Versace moment.
I was just gonna say,
on.
apart from that moment, I really can't think of any other crazy
Well, a
moments.
lot of them were like music videos. Like I remember her in the all my love is
The
all I
fur
have.
boots,
With the
Timbs and
snow
the-
coming
Yes,
down.
yes.
I remember her in the pink outfit in the Ja Rule video.
So to your point, right, where my thought is, because she's a performer in the sense of like a dancer, right? That fly girl aesthetic we catch like in the music videos. But now I also think that like it doesn't, when we see her off, it doesn't fully translate.
Yeah.
Now, what you went ahead and shared was like Beyonce's bag and shoe game is unmatched. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But also, like, I will add, like, to me, Beyonce is a big, like, accessories girl. She accessorizes beautifully.
Yeah, she is
and
an
she's a great
accessories
muse
girl.
because also I always like to put in there, like, she's a Mugler girl.
She
Like,
is.
B is a Mugler girl.
The I Am Sasha Fierce tour,
I
where he
mean,
designed all of the outfits.
She's a Mugler girl.
Yes.
And then now I love how Lueve's like, so she knows that when she's not on stage and performing, when we see her day to day, like, she's put together, but those accessories are going to be hitting, like her jewelry game.
But also like the
Like-
way she does her hair, like every part of her body is a canvas for something. And I feel like J-Lo has a nice outfit on, but she's not stepping into a moment or something like that. She just always wants to look good, but I don't think she's like a style icon necessarily.
Like,
Exactly.
she's a pretty girl in a pretty dress.
girl in a
That's
pretty
what we'll
dress.
say.
Yeah.
Pretty girl in a
Beautiful
pretty dress.
gowns.
Beautiful, exactly.
Yeah, beautiful gowns.
She's
Gorgeous
the
gowns.
example
of beautiful
gowns.
gowns. Okay, now for a little bit of a twist, choose your fighter between Miley Cyrus and Sabrina Carpenter.
Miley Cyrus.
See, and this again might be a hard one because Miley Cyrus has had more time to give us a thing. And I also have loved her transition from a Disney girl to like this like rocker
Margiela
chick,
shoes.
like this with the mullet and the eyebrows and the fashions and the Saint Laurent. And like I love to see that. Like, we love to see a girl growing up, like, giving you her style, her fashions, learning more about her. And she's also very talented.
Yes. And she's someone who doesn't dress for the male gaze all the time. Whereas Sabrina Carpenter will literally get down on her knees, have someone pull her hair on the music video. Like, literally, I was shocked when she put that up there, and shocked when she defended it. Like I get the pinup girl, and I get it's very on theme and all of those things, but like I would like to see her be a little bit more. I would like to see more of her, and that's what I love about Miley Cyrus, that she gives Miley, and the clothes like reflect that as like Sabrina Carpenter gives like this is who I'm trying to be.
Really?
Like she gives cosplay to me.
I have to say, when you said like Miley's getting out of that Disney era and things like that, a bunch of friends, like I love looking at this Disney girls and their evolution. And Sabrina she's a Disney girl, right? And it gives initially when she started, because the Disney girls are also very talented.
Yes.
But when she started, she wanted to be raw, she wanted to be herself and kind of have this like relatable thing, and it wasn't selling.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we need to put a little bit of sexy and a little oomph to this, right? And I think now the climate where we are,
Miley Bangers era.
I mean, hey, but hey, they have to crank up sexy on Sabrina, and now we've got this pinup girl, this like Playboy dolly, like this moment of Marilyn Monroe-esque like muse. And I think it will evolve. For us, I think for me personally, I'm aged out of that. I'm like, I look at that, I'm like, And so I'm here for Miley because I'm loving to see her get into her grown woman sexy, owning herself moment.
Sure.
But Sabrina she's talented, and I think we're seeing her in a certain phase in an era, and she needs to hit a certain peak and space before she can now reel it back and say like, I'm Sabrina and this is what I'm doing.
This is the music world's like playbook,
right?
Like, you know, Rihanna, sweet, nobody was really noticing her. Cut your hair,
Right.
Be rebellious.
Be edgy, SSS,
good girl, go bad.
And then later you can, you know, par it back down, have this more elevated, refined fashion girl. She'll
get there.
She'll do that old money blonde soon. Start wearing Margiela just like Miley did. Miley had her bleach blonde moment. Now she got her old money blonde.
Right?
She's wearing Margiela. Sabrina will be there in five
I'm ready
years.
for the next phase after the pinup girl. I will say that.
Exactly. But and then also, it's about like now branding her out to say like, what is her thing? Sabrina's a beauty girl. Like when we look at it, like look at the hair trends that came that she brought. Look at the makeup trends. So she's a beauty girl. I will not be surprised if we see like products or these more and more campaigns and partnerships around beauty. Right? Miley is leaning into now her fashion world and being a muse for fashion houses. Right? And it's good to see. And next thing you know, she might start her own situation or jewelry, whatever. But it's that trajectory of the Disney girl and like the packages. So yeah, I'm waiting on Sabrina's evolution, but I'm not here for her. It's Miley all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
They try to kill your favorite.
All right, Ronny.
Oh my God. Well, so speaking of the beauty, let's get our style tips from our resident expert, okay? Our friend
I love
Give us all the tips and tricks. Tell us everything.
tips and tricks. Okay, so I would like to just start out with saying, like, I need guys to exfoliate.
Yes.
Chemical exfoliant, right?
Chemical
Or
exfoliant.
at least some sort of scrub or something.
No. It's like
Give us the
the St.
tips.
Ives, throw her away. Throw St. Ives.
I don't need
Apricot
apricot scrub, but
They are all the veggies.
they have good scrubs.
Throw her away. And the reason being is that, like, I get nerdy with it. We have to think about it. We're like cutting and making small
Micro
abrasions,
tears.
micro tears on your skin barrier.
Okay.
And so, like, you don't want that. Those sugar scrubs and things like that, you want to be very careful. And the skincare game and, like, having great skin, that journey is really about hygiene. It's all about hygiene, right? Are you washing your hands?
Yeah.
Right? Before you start, cleaning your face, right? And once you're cleaning, are you disinfecting? Are you getting the pH levels, like, together? Start with a chemical exfoliator. Now, the reason why I say a chemical exfoliator is because it can penetrate through all the gunk, the debris, the crazy of the whole day that you've had, right?
Which one would you recommend?
Yeah, what's it?
Right now, I am using, actually, you know what? I got my bag here.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No, just start with your bag.
I brought some goodies.
Yes.
So, this
Butter
right?
It comes in
pebble
two
leather.
Two colors. We will be doing a pre-order moment with these, but these are the Mug Skin Sacks, and of course your skin carries and holds all your organs. So it's the largest organ that you have, right? And so in the skin sack, I was like, oh, let's kind of go through our little routine, right? So guys, I feel like, ladies, gents, if you are a minimalistic woman, guy, and you think beauty, grooming, this is too much for you, have a good cleanser, right?
Okay.
Shout out to Hyper Skin, Black owned,
I've been
Black
seeing that all over
Latina owned,
TikTok.
Yes.
actually. Amazing product. This is their cleanser. I love it.
Nice.
Get a good cleanser.
Okay.
You want that sudsy feeling, emulsify, wash it, sing the ABCs 2 times, rinse it all off, let your face air dry, get a good toner. But then you want to use a chemical exfoliator. I thought I had it here. Oh, it's in the other bag. But you want Paula's Choice. I use Paula's Choice, or sometimes Youth to the People. And when you use these products, you can either go every other day, you can try, and some products say daily. Definitely left it in the back, but sorry, follow us on Mug Skin. All the tips that you need, right? But a chemical exfoliator is really, really great because literally it's going to increase cell turnover.
And how often do you use that?
I use mine every day. The formulation of the AHA, BHA, Paula's Choice is a daily use.
Is that at night?
You can use it at nighttime. You can use it when you start your day. A lot of guys, if we have coarse hair and you're getting cuts, ingrown hairs and things like that, it's going to eliminate that. It's going to fix the texture of your skin. It's going to brighten your skin. That is one of the main things that I feel like invest in a really good chemical exfoliator, right? I'm trying to think of another one. Also, just a hygienic skincare tip. Wash your pillowcases.
Yes.
And
I think I
change
talked about
them,
that in an
yes.
episode.
Wash
Yes,
and
wash
change the pillowcases. My guys, if you wearing do-rags, ladies,
Wash
the
them.
bonnets, wash them. This might be a little excessive, but I have a bonnet for like each day of the week, kind of.
I love that.
And I just rotate it, throw it in the wash, and I just know that I'm good to go.
Because the
right?
oils on your face get onto the
Exactly.
pillowcase, and
All
then
of
you're
that.
rubbing your face into it. Or the
Right?
oils from your hair, rather, get onto the pillowcase, then you rub your face in it.
Exactly.
It's not good. Yeah.
Ladies, your makeup. If you're wearing makeup, you should be double cleansing, right? And so an oil-based cleanser to start. I love Versed Cleansing Balm. They have a really good one. Adam has a really nice, it's like an oil-based makeup remover, emulsifying cleanser. Use that and the makeup comes off, and then you use your favorite cleanser, double cleanse, right? The next thing that you need, so you're not ashy, get a good moisturizer.
Yes.
Nobody want to be ashy.
Yes.
Get a good moisturizer. So I use the Vichy Mineral Moisturizer. Very hydrating. Keeps your skin supple, soft, hydrated. Really, really great. I sometimes will skip moisturizer and go straight to sunscreen.
Yes. Please talk to the black people
Even
that
in
don't
the winter,
think
you always
that
be
don't
wearing
think that they
sunscreen.
need to wear sunscreen.
Listen, you need to wear sunscreen. Oh, vitamin D, black don't crack. Sunscreen.
Every day.
everybody.
Okay, and
Everybody
I say
needs to wear
SPF
sunscreen.
40 or more.
Yes.
Right? Or more.
Okay.
Right? This is My Block Skin. This is also black owned.
Period.
They are in Europe in Boots stores, and they're working their way into more retailers here stateside. But support them. Amazing,
Can you buy it
amazing.
online, too?
You can buy it online.
Okay.
It's amazing. Guys, gals, everybody, get this. My Block Skin. And then lastly, I would always say, smell good. I'm not gonna show you my. Should I show y'all the fragrance?
Yes, please do.
The fragrance.
Oh, see it.
Our fragrance of the day is
Oh.
Paradigm Prada.
Oh, nice.
Have a good smell good. Fragrance is always nice, I think, to finish off our looks.
Yeah,
Now,
for
my
sure.
thing is that fragrance in skincare can kind of be iffy. It can always potentially be an irritant.
Yeah.
So you don't
Yeah.
always want to like lean into that so much. So for me, I often go with like fragrance-free products.
Yeah.
These products that I just shared with you have minimal, but then I end off making sure that I have my nice little smell good. You know.
Yeah.
What
Y'all
are
have
your
any
thoughts
questions?
on tretinoin?
Fountain of youth.
Literally.
Retinol.
And I feel like women gatekeep tret.
Yeah. Women, your aesthetic professionals, like that is a gate kept
Yeah.
thing. But it's
Really?
also
You think?
in a sense, right? Because tretinoin and your Accutanes and all like the retinols, those are brought for the aggressive acne moments and things like that. But if you're a type of person where every now and then you get flare-ups, you get blemishes, you can get into a retinol and that retinol will keep things at bay. Now, when you start a retinol, and there are different types of retinols, we won't get into that right now, but in that retinol family, you'll purge. So the first 2-3 weeks, you're gonna be like, oh, my skin's freaking out. And we all do this. That's why our beauty counters are crazy.
Yes.
We are not loyal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As consumers, sometimes
Yes.
we're not loyal and we don't trust the process. And you have to trust the process. Stick with a product for about 3 weeks. Give yourself a full month with a product. See how your skin takes to it. And then if it's not good, introduce something new. I also give a cool tip of like this forearm area here, we call it a patch test. So if you try or find new product, you know, rub it on this forearm area here. Wait a little bit, see if there's a reaction. You know, do you get little bumps? Does it swell up? Do you get really red? Whatnot? That lets you know, like, this is good, this is not good.
Yeah.
Right? And then I think another thing is just invest in an esthetician. Find someone who can be your esty bestie. If not, and you've got...
You should trademark that.
Esty bestie.
We all use it in the industry. We all use it.
okay.
I can't say that's all only mine, you know. And shout out to the other SDs. But yeah, you want to invest and have a good wellness practitioner who can at least guide you. And then if things escalate, then your dermatologist. But I think in these times that we're living in, when we want to feel good and look good, let's not look to skincare and these aesthetic moments as just a pick me up. Like this should be a routinely thing. This should be
Yeah, it should be
Self-care.
part.
it's self-care. It's what you do.
It should be part of hygiene, not
Yeah.
just self-care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about that?
Exactly. Any more questions? What
I think
what are
that's
y'all
great.
No, we love that.
Yeah?
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Again,
appreciate
more
the
to
tips and
come.
tricks.
Follow us at
Yes.
Mug Skin, MUGGD Skin.
Esty bestie corner.
All right, and now it's time for our last segment. It's another gamified thing.
Let's do it.
Ronnie, we're happy to have you here to give us your thoughts and insights.
I love the games.
So this is called Sew, Show, or Go.
Okay.
So you pick a designer whose clothes you want to wear. Like, obviously, you want them to sew more.
Okay.
Show is a designer you want to attend their show because you love their production, or you love who's at the front row, or whatever you have for wanting to attend the show. And then finally, Go is obvious. You want them to be dismissed. Yeah. Thank you for your services. Okay, so the first one we have is the Battle of Menswear. And so the designers are Mike Amiri, Olivier Roasting at Balmain, and then Pharrell at LV. So you first, as our friend of who do you want to sew, who do you want to show, and who do you want to go?
Olivia needs to get to sewing.
Oh, okay.
Get to sewing.
I'm scared for a minute.
No. Like,
I thought you were about to say go. Like, pass out.